Fernando needs a great lap here if he's going to take any further part in this qualifying.
Alex Albon is out of qualifying. Only 18th fastest for Alex Albon. The checkered flag is flying. Here comes Lando Norris to cross the line. Doesn't improve on his time. Stays 11th fastest. Is he going to be slightly in danger from those behind him? Fernando Alonso, we can pick up now. Max Verstappen also out on the road too. And Lance Stroll goes 6th fastest for Aston Martin. His teammate Sebastian Vettel, who's out on the track and currently setting a personal best in the middle sector, only 14th fastest as it stands. Alonso tentative, wasn't he? Coming out of turn 16 and 17, round the final corner he goes 6th fastest, pushes Kevin Magnussen into the bottom 5. Magnussen out on the track but not setting best sector times. Vettel now puts himself out of danger. Nicholas Latifi would love to get out of Q1. He's not going to make it this time around. Slowest driver on the track for the Canadian driver in his first Q1 session here in Miami.
There's so many cars blocking me in the last sector. We need to report, man. It's dangerous on my flying lap.
But with Esteban Ocon not taking part in Q1, we've lost both Williams, Latifi and Albon, Zhou Guanyu and Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. Sebastian Vettel now rounding the final couple of corners to try and get himself out of the bottom 5. And he does so. 8th fastest for Sebastian Vettel. Will that be enough? He's only got in by about 600ths of a second. And look at the nervous excitement in the Aston Martin garage. Here comes Lance Stroll. He goes 6th fastest. He could be safe with that.
And Russell's pitted, so he's dropped down to 8th, make that 9th. Bottas, great lap in 5th.
So, George Russell 9th, Sebastian Vettel 10th at the moment. Who behind him can do something about it? Mick Schumacher, not him on this occasion. Lando Norris could, and also Yuki Tsunoda. We're on board now with Lando Norris. Reaches the line, goes 3rd fastest, pushes Sebastian Vettel out of the top 10. Is George Russell hanging on there? No, he's not. Yuki Tsunoda pushes Russell out of qualifying. Pierre Gasly, the driver at risk as his teammate goes into the top 9, and crossing the line, Fernando Alonso misses out by about 3/100ths of a second.
This has got to be a great chance then for Ricciardo to recover from 15th to only 14th.
And it is so tight in the race into the top 10. He's less than 0.2 of a second down on the cars in front, but the cars in front separated by merely 100ths.
Yeah, sorry for that. I don't think that was good enough. Just don't have the confidence of a car today.
The top 10 can still shuffle around in Q3, but Daniel Ricciardo will be thoroughly disappointed with that. So will McLaren. George Russell out as well in 12th. Now a little bit porpoising, you can see the car bouncing, and cranks the steering wheel on, picks up the throttle, back end of the car just dancing gently on the way out of turn 17. A bump now through 19, keeps right for the shortest run to the line, and Leclerc can't quite get in the 28, but it's a 29 flat.
And his teammate Carlos Sainz just a couple of hundredths of a second outside of Charles Leclerc's time. Leclerc, only driver to have been on the front row in every single race this season, has provisional pole. Valtteri Bottas 9/10ths down on the 2 Ferraris in his Ferrari-powered Alfa Romeo. Verstappen was a 10th up on Charles Leclerc through the middle sector, matched him in the first sector. Can Verstappen put it on pole? We are into the 128s now. It's provisional pole for Max Verstappen by 2/100ths of a second. Here comes Sergio Perez, blitzed the final sector, but didn't push it hard enough in the first 2 sectors. He's half a second down on the second row.
Wow, we've got to fight on for pole position there. Can't wait for the second runs now, because look at that, 0.08 of a second covering the top 3. Sainz has gone 1/4 of a second faster through that first sector.
145 previous appearances without taking pole. It will be the second longest wait in F1 history if he were to do it, Carlos Sainz, and he's up on his teammate at the moment. Hamilton 2/10ths up on Valtteri Bottas through the first sector. Lando Norris 1/10th up on Bottas too. Verstappen making his way through the first sector of Charles Leclerc, now heads down that back straight, and a 33.8 for him through the middle part of the lap. Sergio Perez 4/10ths down on Carlos Sainz through that first sector.
It looks like Max Verstappen is doing a warm-up lap, but that's why he's got a slow first sector. Sainz, though, still a couple of tenths up.
Well, has Verstappen taken the flag? Let's feature that in a couple of seconds. Leclerc making his way around the final corner, goes on to provisional pole. Couldn't improve in the final sector, but did enough to get that Ferrari on pole, and it's his teammate Carlos Sainz alongside him, second on the grid. Ferrari 1 and 2 here, and Verstappen in trouble. Verstappen not putting in the first sector time, and I wonder if something's gone wrong with the car or he just wasn't in the right position or not. We'll focus on that in a couple of moments. Bottas, 4th fastest. Lando Norris goes 7th fastest. Lewis Hamilton, 6th on the grids. Sergio Perez will start 5th. No, he won't. He'll start 4th on the grid, Sergio Perez, as he moves ahead then of Valtteri Bottas. But Verstappen just didn't get that final flying lap in.
Yeah, he goes off the racetrack.
It.
So P1.
Let's go. Come on. Good. The lap wasn't great, but it's enough, so cannot complain.
And for Ferrari, looking to bounce back after the disappointments at Imola, well, this is the perfect way to start the next race. So 1-2 on the grid. Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Leclerc takes his 3rd pole position of the season.